Olive found herself on a large float, surrounded by colourful decorations. She was wearing a beautiful headdress and could hear amazing music.
Oh, wow. I love that beat.
Just then, she heard a strange sound and turned to see a flamboyant peacock drying his feathers with a hairdryer.
Perfecto.
Wow, I like your feathers.
Oh, gracias. My name is Fernando, the Carnival King with beautiful colors.
That's a long name. I'm Olive, the ostrich with blue and white feathers.
And they are beautiful feathers. Welcome to the Rio Carnival, Olive.
Thanks. What's the Rio Carnival?
It's the greatest street party of the year, right here in Rio, Brazil.
Oh, I love parties.
Then you are just the assistant I need. Can you help me decorate my carnival float and stick up all these colorful garlands, please?
Okay.
As Olive picked up one of the garlands, it unfurled like a long, wiggly snake.
Oh, this is tricky.
You're doing great, Olive. Just need to stick it to the float with some sticky tape. Now, time for Fernando to blow up his masterpiece.
Fernando attached a big floppy balloon to a balloon-blowing machine and turned it on. The balloon quickly filled with air and became an amazing giant bird.
It will be the biggest balloon in the carnival.
But now Olive was getting in a real muddle with the paper garland.
Oh, dear.
She had somehow got it tangled around her legs and couldn't reach the sticky tape on the floor. As she stretched to grab it, Olive toppled backwards and knocked over the balloon blower, breaking off the lever.
Oh, no! My balloon is getting bigger and bigger.
The balloon blower blew and blew until Fernando's special balloon finally went pop, and the balloon blower ran out of air.
My balloon blower, what a disaster!
Attention, the carnival will begin in 1 minute.
1 minute? What can we do, Olive?
Sticky tape? A hairdryer? I think I may have an idea.
With Fernando's help, Olive used the sticky tape to seal the hole in the balloon, and together they blew it up using Fernando's hairdryer. The balloon got bigger and bigger.
It's working, Olive.
But the hairdryer was filling the giant balloon with hot air, which rises, and soon the balloon floated right off the ground.
Cake!
Olive held on tightly to the balloon,
My balloon!
and Fernando held on tightly to Olive's legs.
The carnival is starting!
Olive and Fernando floated up into the sky, away from the carnival.
Olive, we have to get down!
Don't worry, Fernando.
Olive reached up the side of the balloon and tore off the tape. As the air escaped through the hole, the balloon sent Olive and Fernando soaring across the sky. They whizzed about all over the place until the balloon ran out of air. The empty balloon parachuted them safely down, and they both landed back on the float, and the deflated balloon dropped onto her head like a headdress. They looked magnificent, and they got a huge round of applause.
Olive the Ostrich with the blue and white feathers, you are my carnival queen.
You know, Fernando, I could almost burst with pride.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Cake? Actually, I was carnival queen at the Rio Carnival.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was in a street full of shops. It was raining heavily, and she was getting very wet. She was outside a shop with a big glass window. Olive looked through the window and could see lots of people sitting in chairs.
Maybe I could dry off in there.
Said Olive. So she opened the door and went in. It was a very fancy place and smelt of perfume.
Hello there, I'm Olive.
Hiya, I'm Mickey Meerkat.
Said a little meerkat.
Welcome to me beauty parlour.
Oh, a beauty parlour.
What would you like, Olive? A shampoo, a pedicure?
Pedicure? What's that?
It's a beauty treatment that'll give you the prettiest feet ever.
Olive looked down at her feet. They were a little bit scruffy.
Oh, a pedicure, yes, please.
This way.
Said Mickey. As she followed Mickey, Olive saw a pink poodle with curlers and an elephant with cucumber slices over her eyes.
Egg. I thought cucumber was for sandwiches.
Take a seat and pop your feet in here.
said Mickey, putting a bowl of soapy, bubbly water in front of Olive. Suddenly, there was a loud scream from behind some fancy curtains.
Oh!
The scream made Olive jump, and she landed with a big splash in the bowl of water.
Cake! What was that?
Mrs. Higginbottom!
Shouted Mickey. As they pulled back the curtains, Olive saw a very large hippopotamus sitting in a bath full of mud. The mud was completely dry and the hippo was stuck fast.
This is outrageous! I can't move!
Wailed Mrs. Higginbottom.
Calm down, calm down. The timer hasn't gone off and the mud's dried. Oh, we'll have to find a way to get you out.
Hello, I'm Olive. Let me try something.
Olive pecked at the mud, but it was rock hard.
Oh, Olive, please help. I have a party to go to.
Olive saw it was still raining heavily outside.
Dried mud? Rain? I think I may have an idea. Mickey, help me push the bath outside.
Outside?
Chorused Mickey and Mrs. Higginbottom.
Just wait and see.
Mickey and Olive used all their strength to push Mrs. Higginbottom into the rainy street.
What now, Olive?
Just watch.
The rain made the mud soft and squidgy. Mrs. Higginbottom lifted one foot out of the bath and then another. Soon she was jumping up and down.
Oh, thank you. I'm free. Calm down. We don't want an accident.
And Mrs. Higginbottom was so happy, she jumped in the air and landed with a giant splash. Olive and Mickey were covered from head to toe in mud.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't help myself. We hippos just love mud.
Cake. Actually, I quite like getting covered in mud too.
Yeah, it's not so bad at all.
Chuckled Mickey. Mrs. Higginbottom started laughing too, and they all danced together in the rain until the mud washed off.
Thank you, Olive. That's the best mud bath I've ever had. But now I must get to my party. Sorry you didn't get your pedicure, Olive, but at least you had a mud bath.
Oh,
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Cake. Actually, I had a lovely mud bath at the beauty parlour.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in a park surrounded by tall buildings with lots of windows. Nearby, there were some kids riding about on BMX bikes.
Oh, these buildings look very tall.
She was wearing a blue hooded tracksuit and shiny silver trainers.
Yo, nice hoodie.
Said a voice. Olive turned around and saw two boys. They wore blue tracksuits and silver trainers, like hers.
Yo! Hello, I'm Olive.
Yo, Olive, I'm Ash. This is Sam. We're two of the super fast feet crew, the flyest dance crew around.
Oh, what sort of dancing do you do?
Street dancing, and we're competing in a big competition today.
Problem is, our flipper Darren is stuck in a traffic jam. Without him, we can't do our routine, so if he doesn't make it in time, we can't enter.
What does a flipper do?
We'll show you.
Sam pulled out his phone and hit a button to play a video. It was the super fast feet crew performing a routine.
That's Darren in the middle. He's about to flip. Hey, oh, yeah. Hey!
Yo, Olive, you're wearing a hoodie and trainers just like ours. Maybe you could be our flipper for the competition.
Well, I'd be happy to try, but flipping looks really difficult.
It's not easy. You need to be able to jump really high.
Olive looked around and noticed that the kids with their BMX bikes were doing some impressive tricks and jumps. But one boy had a puncture and was pumping up his tyre.
A bicycle pump. Trainers? I think I may have an idea.
Olive walked over to talk to the boys.
Excuse me, can I borrow your bike pump, please?
Yeah, sure.
Olive stuck the end of the bicycle pump into the sole of her silver trainer and began to pump. The shoe started to inflate. She did the same to the other one until she had created a pair of super bouncy super trainers.
Ooh, okay. I'm very tall.
Try a flip.
Suggested Ash. Olive started to bounce higher and higher, and then she did a double backflip.
That was tight.
It certainly was.
Let's go, Olive. The competition starts soon.
Darren was still stuck in traffic, so Olive performed with the super fast feet crew. The routine was going really well, and Olive did some amazing flips, bouncing on her super trainers. Soon, it was time for the big finish, a quadruple backflip from Olive. She bounced higher and higher, and then straight into the flip. But Olive had flipped too high. She lost control and couldn't stop flipping. Just then, Darren arrived. He rushed into the arena and saw Olive somersaulting through space. Darren ran over, did a massive forward flip and caught Olive mid-air. They both landed back on the ground between Ash and Sam, and the audience went wild.
Yo, Olive, that was amazing.
Olive's final flip was so spectacular, it helped the super fast feet crew to win first prize,
Yo, thanks for standing in for me, Olive.
said Darren.
Yo, it was no problem.
Said Olive.
I was one super flying ostrich.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been dancing and flipping with a street dance crew.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. It was a very dusty, hot place, with tumbleweed rolling past. Olive was on a cowboy ranch in the wild west of America. She was wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. All of a sudden, she heard stamping feet and a loud wail. A little goat was riding along on the back of a huge bull. He was getting bumped about all over the place.
Help! Help!
The bull screeched to a halt, sending the poor goat somersaulting through the air. He landed at Olive's feet with a thump.
Oh, are you okay?
Asked Olive.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. Howdy, I'm Billy the Kid. What name do you go by?
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you, Billy. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I just can't get these darn bulls into the barn. My daddy's gone to town and left me in charge of the ranch. He'll be real proud of me if I get him inside before sundown.
I'd be glad to help. What have you tried so far?
Well, I've tried lassoing them. I've tried shouting at them, move your big behind right now. And I've tried poking them.
Maybe I can think of something.
Olive looked about and saw Billy's lasso lying on the ground. She also spotted a tall stack of hay bales inside the barn. She glanced back at the bulls and saw that they were grazing on clumps of hay.
A lasso? Some bales of hay? I think I may have an idea.
With Billy the Kid's help, Olive tied a bale of hay around herself using his lasso. Then she stood in front of the barn doors.
Yoo-hoo! Bulls, tasty hay!
The bulls looked up and began to trot towards Olive.
It's working. They're trotting towards the barn.
The bulls started munching on Olive's bale of hay. Unfortunately, Olive was very ticklish.
Oh, that tickles! Stop it! Stop it!
Billy looked at Olive and was worried.
Stop it! Stop it!
Cried Billy.
Stop it, bulls, please!
Immediately, the bulls stopped munching and looked up at Billy the Kid.
Why, sure thing, kid.
Said one of the bulls.
I think I've got it! Excuse me, Bulls. I know you'd make Billy here very happy if you all went inside the barn. Please?
Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Said Billy, catching on.
Well, of course we will. We bulls love politeness. You should have just asked nicely, saying please the first place, Billy.
Billy and Olive led all the bulls into the barn.
Oh, why, thank you very much. See you in the morning, fellas.
Just as the sun was setting, Billy's dad arrived home from town.
Howdy, partners.
Said Billy's dad.
Jeepers, you've done a fine job today, son. Any trouble getting those bulls into that there barn?
Well, just a little bit.
said Billy with a smile.
But we're just pleased to get the job done.
Said Olive. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been a cowgirl in the Wild West.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. The sun was high in the sky, and Olive found herself in the middle of a desert. She was wearing a strange hat.
Oh, Baghead, what a big fancy hat. But where am I? And what are these big spiky things? Are they some sort of plant?
Suddenly, something long and squiggly appeared right behind Olive. When she noticed it, she was so surprised she stumbled back straight into one of the spiky plants.
Baghead! Ow! Ow! Me bottom! Me bottom! Oh!
I'm sorry. Please let me help you.
Olive sighed, relieved.
I'm Olive. Thanks so much for pulling out those horrible spikes. I didn't hear you coming. That's why I got so surprised.
Hola, I am Reptilina. I am a rattlesnake. Sorry that I scared you.
That's okay. I could see you're not scary.
Whenever I try to make friends, they always get scared away. Other rattlesnakes have rattles on their tails, so you can hear them coming. But mine, it don't work, see? People get scared of snakes, especially when they can't hear them coming.
Well, we'll have to find something that can make your tail sound again.
Olive looked around the desert. Soon, she spotted an old bicycle horn.
Oh, this will make a great new sound for your tail.
She carefully attached the horn to Reptilina's tail, and Reptilina tried it out.
It's a nice sound, but not quite right.
What about these?
Olive had found some bells on the ground. Reptilina tried them instead of the horn.
It's a bit closer, but my tail should rattle, you know.
Olive looked around once more. She spotted some rubbish left after a campfire.
An empty can of beans, some small rocks, and a stick. I think I may have an idea.
Olive put the small rocks and the stick inside the can. Then she attached it to Reptilina's tail.
Give this a try.
Olive, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
Suddenly, Olive and Reptilina heard some music. Two men in big hats appeared. Both were playing guitars.
Hola, we are local mariachi band, and that is beautiful sounding rattling tail you have. Why, thank you.
Replied Reptilina.
Hey, our drummer, he is very ill after eating a mega spicy burrito, and now we can't keep our rhythm.
Said the other mariachi.
But maybe you, your amazing rattling tail, could join our band. I think I'm too shy.
Reptilina said sadly.
Don't be shy, Reptilina.
Said Olive.
I'll even join in myself.
Olive picked up the horn.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the best sounding rattle tail ever.
Olive played along with Reptilina and the mariachi band until the sun was setting.
Thanks so much for getting me my rattle back.
Said Reptilina.
And thanks for finding us a new rhythm section.
Said the mariachi.
That's okay.
Said Olive.
I was a bit rattled when I first arrived, but now I feel just fine.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I was in a band with a rattlesnake.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing in a little village. The buildings were made entirely out of logs, and they nestled between tall green trees and snow-topped mountains. She was wearing a lovely woolly scarf.
Okay, what a beautiful place.
Just then, Olive heard a strange gurgling sound coming from behind one of the log cabins. So she went to investigate. She found a little girl sobbing into her hanky in a most peculiar way. Olive had never heard anything like it.
My name's Olive. Are you okay?
Oh, I didn't see you there. My name's Heidi Hi. My family own the holiday camp here, and today we're holding our famous Swiss family yodeling concert to mark the first day of the ski season.
Oh, big! How exciting!
Oh, you little don't understand. There isn't any snow. Tradition says if we don't have any snow on the first day of the ski season, we won't have any snow at all, and no skiers will come to visit.
In the distance, Olive could see the beautiful snow-capped mountains, but in the village there was only the tiniest dusting of snow on the rooftops. She was about to start thinking of a way to help when she heard an announcement boom out over the loudspeakers.
Heidi hi, time for our last yodeling rehearsal.
That's my mum. I'd better go and practice.
Olive followed Heidi back to her family to find out what yodeling was. Then the hills erupted with sound as Heidi's family all burst into a strange song. Olive stood and listened. It was then she noticed that the dusting of snow on the rooftops had begun to quiver and shake. As Heidi and her mother hit a high note, the snow rolled off the roof and landed on the ground. Olive grinned.
Yodelers? Loudspeakers and a snow-capped mountain? I think I may have an idea. Heidi, help me collect all the loudspeakers. We're going to create a super speaker.
Olive placed them in a long line, pointing towards the snowiest peak.
Now all you need to do is yodel into here, and I'm sure your voices will shake the snow down from the mountains in no time.
Yodeloo, do you really think that'll work?
Asked Heidi.
There's only one way to find out.
And with that, they burst into song. In the distance, the snow on the mountain tops began to quiver. It looked like it was dancing as it gently started to roll down the slopes towards the village. But even though they yodeled with all their might, the snow stopped short.
Yodeloo will have to join in, Olive. We're just not loud enough.
Said Olive as she cleared her throat and prepared to sing. They yodeled and yodeled, and the gathering crowds watched with delight as the snow tripped and danced its way gently into the village, covering the entire place with a thick blanket of snow.
Oh, Olive, there's enough snow here to ski and sledge and build snowmen until springtime. Thank you.
It was no problem.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been yodeling in the Swiss Alps.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was in a room full of lots and lots of colourful clothes hanging on long rails.
Oh, hey, look at all these beautiful clothes.
Suddenly, whoosh, a ball of screwed-up paper flew past Olive. Olive poked her head around one of the rails of clothes and saw a pink poodle sat at a desk, scribbling furiously.
No. I just can't get this design right.
Cried the pooch. She screwed up another piece of paper and threw it.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Olive. What are you trying to design?
I'm Dogatella, famous fashion designer, darling. Tonight is the biggest catwalk show in Paris Fashion Week, and I'm meant to be showing off my amazing new designer dress.
So what's stopping you?
I've completely run out of ideas. I don't suppose you could help me, darling.
Well, I'm no fashion designer, but maybe I can help.
Olive looked around and saw balls of screwed-up paper
Ooh.
everywhere.
What are all these screwed-up balls of paper, Dogatella?
Those are some of my rejected fashion designs. No good.
Lots of fashion designs, lots of clothes. I think I may have an idea.
Olive collected all the screwed-up fashion designs and selected the best bits from each one. Then she took Dogatella's scissors and cut out all her favourite pieces.
If I use all the best bits from each design, we should end up with an amazing designer dress.
That just might work, darling.
Dogatella helped Olive stick all the bits together. And when they'd finished, they set about making the dress using various pieces of clothing from the rails. Dogatella cut and stitched them all together, adding lots of shiny buttons and sparkly sequins.
Finished.
It's certainly an interesting design.
They finished with just enough time for Olive to try the outfit on before the big Paris catwalk show. Dogatella helped Olive put on the dress. But there was one small problem.
Okay, who turned out the lights?
Oh no, I was in such a rush to finish the designer dress. I forgot to make a neck hole.
Olive stumbled around the dressing room, bumping into the rails of clothes.
I can't see.
Clothes kept falling off their hangers onto Olive. She collected 5 jumpers, 3 dresses, 4 pairs of trousers, and even a few pairs of shoes before accidentally stumbling out onto the catwalk. The crowd gasped.
What's going on?
Called Olive as she desperately tried to find a hole to poke her head out. Then there was a loud ripping sound, and Olive's head popped out. The crowd went wild. Dogatella addressed the crowd.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, why put on just the one item from your wardrobe when you can wear everything at once? I present to you the Olive range.
All the people in the crowd started putting on more and more layers of clothes. There was a woman with 8 jumpers, another with 6 hats, and a man with 14 pairs of trousers.
Olive, you've started a whole new fashion trend. You're a fashion sensation, darling.
Well, that's just completely sensational, darling.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realized it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Kirk, actually, I've been a designer with Dogatella.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself on a huge lily pad in the middle of a pond. She was wearing a pointy hat and sparkly shoes. Nearby, some frogs were having a party.
Kirk, is this a birthday party?
Oh no, it's no one's birthday. Us frogs just love to dance and party. You can join us if you like.
Yes, please. I love dancing. Almost as much as I love honey sandwiches, that is.
As Olive danced and ate her sandwich, she noticed a little frog sitting all on his own.
Hello, I'm Olive. What's your name?
Ribbit Patterson.
Why aren't you dancing? There's honey sandwiches too. And look, now everyone's catching flies.
I'm useless at catching flies. The other big frogs always laugh at me when I try.
Said Ribbit sadly.
Well, I won't laugh at you.
I couldn't even catch that fly over there, and it's really close.
Ribbit whipped out his tongue, only it was too short and he couldn't reach the fly.
Hey, Ribbit, look and learn, sunshine.
Called one of the bigger frogs. Olive and Ribbit ducked as the frog's massive tongue flew over their heads, caught the fly, then pulled it back into his mouth.
You see, I'll never catch flies like they can.
Olive looked over at the party. She spied some party blowers next to a big pot of honey on the table.
Party blowers, some honey. I think I may have an idea.
Olive dunked the party blower into the pot of sticky honey, then popped it into her beak like a rolled-up tongue.
Look, Olive.
Ribbit pointed to a fly sitting on a strange-looking plant. With all her might, Olive blew the sticky party blower. Only she missed, and it stuck to the strange plant instead.
Let me try,
Exclaimed Ribbit. But Olive had used too much honey, and the party blower was now stuck fast to her beak, as well as the plant.
It's stuck, it won't come off.
Suddenly, the plant began to rise out of the water.
Olive, why is the plant moving?
It wasn't a plant at all, but a very angry-looking crocodile. It swam off down the pond, dragging Olive with it.
Crocodile, it'll eat us all up.
Panicked Ribbit. Ribbit knew he had to do something, so he grabbed a spatula from one of the cakes and a party blower that he dipped in honey and waited for the crocodile to swim past him. Just as the crocodile got close, Ribbit blew the party blower as hard as he could and hit the crocodile. Ribbit was yanked off the lily pad and landed right on the crocodile's back.
Whoa, I've never surfed on a crocodile before.
Ribbit used the spatula to unstick Olive's party blower.
Oh, I'm free!
Jump, Olive.
They both leapt to safety just as the crocodile snapped up behind them.
Oh, Ribbit, you were magnificent!
Magnificent! He's the bravest frog of the whole pond.
The big frogs lifted Ribbit onto their shoulders and declared him and Olive the party guests of honour.
Good catch, Ribbit. My turn. A little less honey.
But Olive missed and caught a cupcake instead.
I never did fancy flies much. Cupcakes are far more tasty.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Cupcake? Actually, I helped a frog to catch a crocodile.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself on a seaside pier lined with amusement stalls all covered in flashing lights.
Oh, this place looks like fun. But where is everyone?
Out from behind a counter appeared a man in a stripy waistcoat.
Hello, and welcome to Cuthbert's Candy Hut.
Hello, Cuthbert. I'm Olive.
Oh, so what tickles your taste buds, Olive? Juicy jelly bear, a tasty stick of seaside rock, or the best candy floss on the whole pier?
Oh, can I try the candy floss, please?
Cuthbert poured a pink sugar mixture into his machine, spun it round in the bowl, dipped in a stick, and gave Olive some bright pink candy floss.
That's delicious.
And that's not the only treat round here. Let me show you the rest of the pier.
First, Cuthbert took Olive on the ghost train.
Cake, that was some scary stuff.
Next, they looked in the Hall of Mirrors, which turned Olive and Cuthbert into weird and wonderful wibbly-wobbly shapes. Last was the giant teacup ride. It spun so fast, it made them both really dizzy.
Wow, that was fun. This pier's amazing, Cuthbert. Why is no one here enjoying themselves?
Oh, no one visits the pier anymore. They're all too busy. At this rate, I'll have to close my candy hut forever.
Well, look, here's someone. I'm sure they'll love the pier.
All right, mister, got any candy floss, please?
Said a boy. Cuthbert gave him some candy floss he'd already made.
You serious, bro? That is tiny. This pier is rubbish. I'm off.
Please, wait just a second. Cuthbert, your candy flosses are a bit small, but maybe I can help.
Olive looked around.
Giant spinning cups, big candy canes. I think I may have an idea.
Olive and Cuthbert poured the candy floss mixture into one of the giant cups on the teacup ride. Olive pulled the lever and dipped in a large candy cane to make the biggest candy floss ever.
Wow, that's well wicked. Nice one, Olive, bro. Cheers, mister.
But no one noticed that Olive had left the ride switched on.
Olive, look.
Olive turned to see a gigantic ball of candy floss.
Cake, it's getting bigger.
That is well cool.
Suddenly, there was a gust of wind which blew the candy floss out of the teacup and all the way into town. And as it did, it rolled over a policeman.
What's all this then? Whoa!
He got caught up in the sticky mess. Then it rolled over a lollipop lady.
My side means stop. Oh!
It also rolled over everyone at the skate park.
Dude, no way!
Finally, it blew to the top of a skating ramp, stopped, then rolled all the way back down the street to Olive and Cuthbert on the pier.
We'd better unstick everyone, quick.
Olive and Cuthbert used the candy canes to hook everyone out.
They do all sound angry.
But just then, the people noticed all the rides.
A teacup ride, a ghost train, a hall of mirrors.
Everyone remembered how great the pier was, and they all ran off to have fun, while Cuthbert sold lots and lots of candy floss.
Would you like another one, Olive, as a thank you for all your help?
I'd don't know. I think it's time I went to brush my beak after all that sugary candy floss.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I helped make the biggest candy floss ball ever.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was in a big room with lots of colourful carpets stacked everywhere.
Oh, where is it?
Said a voice.
Hello, I'm Olive. Can I help?
Suddenly, a face popped out from behind a pile of carpets.
Hi, I'm Hassan. Can you help me find a carpet, please?
I can try. There are certainly lots in here.
This is my family's carpet shop in Marrakesh. We need to find a carpet quickly, Olive.
Olive hurried around looking at carpets. She picked up a green one.
This one?
No, we're looking for a red carpet.
This one?
No, that's got green tassels. The one I need has gold tassels.
How about this one?
No, we're looking for a really special carpet.
But why is it so special, Hassan?
Well, it's a magic flying carpet, and it's for a very special customer.
Oh.
I'm going to be in so much trouble if I don't find it, Olive.
A lost magic carpet. A huge carpet shop. I think I may have an idea. Maybe we need to say a magic word so the carpet will find us.
Oh, why didn't I think of that before? How about Shazam?
They looked around. Nothing.
Abracadabra.
Still nothing. So they tried all the magic words they knew.
Open sesame!
Simsalabim.
Alakazam!
Bibbity bobbity.
Izzy wizzy, let's get busy!
But there was still no sign of the magic carpet.
Oh, we're never going to find it.
We can't give up, Hassan. You need to get up and help me. Please.
Suddenly, a carpet flew straight towards them. It was the magic carpet.
That must be the magic word. Please.
The carpet whooshed down and scooped them up. It flew out of the shop, above the bazaar, then over the city and across the desert. But the magic flying carpet started to speed up, and suddenly it looped the loop. And then did a somersault.
Oh, Olive, do something!
Where's the steering wheel?
But Olive had never flown a magic carpet before, and the carpet dropped into a plunging dive.
Wow!
Olive and Hassan held on tight. Suddenly, Olive realised what she had to do.
Magic carpet, slow down and fly us back to the carpet shop, please.
The carpet immediately levelled out.
Hooray! You did it, Olive!
Phew.
Soon, they were flying back in through the carpet shop door. Waiting for them was a very large green man.
Ah, I see you've been enjoying my flying carpet. It can be a little naughty at times.
Chuckled the man.
We didn't mean to go for a ride on it, sir.
Well, that's okay. I can see you had fun.
You're very lucky having your own flying carpet.
Well, I am a genie.
The genie winked as he sat on the carpet, and with a
Please.
and a wave of his arm, he and the carpet swept out of the door.
Look, Olive, the genie has left a dusty old lamp behind.
Hassan was about to give the lamp a rub to clean it when the genie swooped back in and grabbed it.
Oh,
I'll take that, thank you. Maybe some other time. Bye.
wow. You think there are any more flying carpets in here, Olive?
After all that, I prefer to keep my feet firmly on the ground, please.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been for a ride on a magic flying carpet.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing beside some tall, spindly plants.
What are these plants?
Olive asked.
They're bamboo. You're in a bamboo glade.
Answered a voice.
Talking bamboo plants? How odd.
A little black and white panda stepped out from amongst the bamboo.
Hello, I'm Ming Ming.
Hello, I'm Olive.
Oh, look at your lovely blue feathers. I'm just boring black and white.
You probably wish you were as colourful as me, of course.
Boasted a beautiful golden pheasant as it strutted by.
I'm Nianzu, the most colourful golden pheasant in all of China.
Hello, Nianzu.
Oh, I would love to be as colorful as you.
Then ask the wise man. Of course. Maybe he could tell you how to become almost as colourful as me.
Yeah.
Where do we find the wise man, Nianzu?
You can find him by the ancient and magnificent Great Wall of China, of course.
Oh, that sounds like it might be a long way away.
Actually, no. It's just over there.
Nianzu pointed behind them, and there, reaching up high, was the Great Wall of China.
Wow! How did we miss that?
An old man with a long beard was sitting by the wall next to some colourful washing. He was fast asleep and snoring.
And is that the wise man, Nianzu?
Yes, of course.
How do we wake him up?
We could try that gong.
The wise man woke up with a start.
What? Oh dear.
Excuse me, wise man, but how can I become more colorful? It would make me so happy.
The wise man stroked his long beard and said, wisely,
True happiness is being happy with yourself.
and then he dropped off back to sleep.
How does that help?
Olive spotted a colourful robe on the old man's washing line.
A panda who wants to be colourful? A colourful robe? I think I may have an idea.
What is it now?
Excuse me, wise man. May we borrow your colourful robe, please?
Those who ask often receive.
Is that a yes?
It is. Now leave me alone, please.
Olive took the robe and put it on Ming Ming, and she became the most colourful panda in China.
Oh, now I am as colorful as Nianzu.
Almost.
I'll show those tourists how colorful I am.
Ming Ming paraded up and down the Great Wall of China.
Look at me. Hello.
These tourists just aren't interested in Ming Ming.
Suddenly there was a huge gust of wind and it blew off Ming Ming's robe. Ming Ming was back to her usual black and white self.
Oh, no, I'm boring black and white again.
Look, a panda.
Exclaimed a tourist. They all started taking photographs.
So perfectly black and white.
Over here. That's it.
The tourists took more and more photographs of Ming Ming.
Olive, they love me. Oh, hello.
Hello, what about me? I'm beautiful.
The wise man was right. True happiness is being happy with yourself.
He certainly was. Being black and white is amazing.
And you do look lovely, Ming Ming. Smile.
And I look lovely too, don't I, Olive?
Nianzu, you and Ming Ming are both picture perfect. Of course.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped a little panda at the Great Wall of China.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.